So this year at a glance page, or year at a glance section is under the CEO cadence page. And where we are right now, like we're starting OKR prep. So on the chief of staff team page, some of this stuff is outlined and you'll see some of them here, but we have a separate OKR page where we outline like the OKR process, and the reason things like this is a cross-functional thing, which is why it generally is in its own section as opposed to being under a particular person. Maybe now there's a case to be made to move it, but okay, so this is a little bit about like what OKRs are, how we format it in the handbook, what the process looks like, how many levels throughout the org we do it, the process for updating them, and the schedule for them is all here.
What does the schedule mean? Because I looked at that a little bit yesterday and like -5, -4, what does that mean?
The number is the weeks before or after the start of the fiscal year.
Got it.
So this is the start of the fiscal
before and after. Okay.
Yeah, so this would be May, this would be the week before that, the week before that, blah, blah, blah. So if we actually go to next quarter's page, which I already created, I added the schedule to the top of the page so that we're all along.
I remember you showing me. Okay.
So
Sid hasn't done that, or are those actually the goals?
So Sid sets the same 3 objectives every quarter. Here, let me actually show you this. So on about.gitlab.com/company/strategy, there are 3 goals. Here we go. So our strategy, which is this, is on a 3-year cadence, which would take you to that cadence page where we have the year at a glance. And they come down to these 3 things. So we want to grow IACV so that by 2023, we're at $1 billion ARR. We want to be a popular next gen product and a highly performant team. So when Sid sets his objectives for the OKRs every quarter, those 3 are the same.
Great. Okay. That's cool.
What changes is the key results. So what I have right now, where is this? Here. I started an MR. So before I do that, so this week, this isn't the deadline. It's just like the week of. So this week, Sid is going to merge his KRs to this page. And then next week, the e-group will discuss this and kind of come up with things at the next meeting. So you'll see what that looks like before the e-group draft meeting. But
and you see, Sid knows the trigger for that, or are you putting in the trigger to make him do that?
Okay, so I actually am drafting it right now.
Perfect. Okay.
So here is the MR for that, where so these are the ones from last quarter, like for the quarter we're in right now, fiscal 21 Q1. These were the CEO KRs for that. So I'm using them as a starting point, which is why I've copied and pasted them. But then I will evaluate where we are on performance for them and then adjust before my one-on-one with Sid. So this is already on the one-on-one agenda for tomorrow.
Great. Okay. And I'm shadowing that one.
Yeah. And what I want to do is make sure that I'm coming to the table with a reasonable suggestion. And then he might be thinking about things that I'm not. And I know one of the things he's thinking about is middle management. So this quarter we had things around middle managers. I don't know what he's thinking about for next quarter. I expect middle managers will continue, SMAL will continue, SPOO will continue, but we're in a different economic state. So the IACV KRs might be different. So I'll prep them and then we'll actually work through them on the call to get them where he's pleased with it. And then we'll merge on that call.
Okay, so it sounds like you're on top of this one. And you're still going to be in the e-group calls for a while, right?
probably like, I think through your shadow rotation, but
I think that makes sense because especially if you're running on these things and you're owning them, I think would be kind of clunky to.
Yeah, I mean, we'll figure that out. Like there can also be a case where, okay, before we meander from here, are you any other stuff on OKRs?
I mean, I think I need to actually dig into it, read it, write them down. But I think part of what you're saying is like, I'm running with this process for now. So as long as it's moving, I think that's the key thing I want to see.
Yeah, I think what's probably, so I'll stop the recording here.